Video game controls are extremely important. It's really the only power given to the player. So you better not mess it up because then everybody hates your game. I'm of the opinion that good video game controls is essential to make a good game. Your game can look as pretty as you want, but if it controls like crap, I don't want to play it, I'm sorry. Your game has to be pretty dang fun to have bad controls and everybody love it. And so in today's video, I thought it would be fun to take a look at video game controls. See what makes good controls and see what makes bad controls. So for the sake of simplicity, let's start off with those nice little 2D side scrollers. Back then, controls were a lot more simple. Instead of having 8,000 directions, you had only two, right and left, and a jump button of course. And in some games you have a fire and attack button. And this control scheme is really simple but also allows for many possibilities. They were made so that anyone really can pick up and play them. They were really accessible, especially compared to today's game. Holy crap, what is going on? So many enemies, I'm a one-man army. At Ganondorf! They were simple. Really simple. And I think that's a part of the reason why we have so many retro games nowadays. That and because of nostalgia. However, the year was 1996 and 3D games became a thing. And let me tell you, it's not as easy as taking a 2D game and simply making it 3D. Because now, instead of having just 2 directions, you have 8 at the minimum. Which not only the people playing it be confused, but the people making it scream in absolute agony. But can you honestly blame them? Now you gotta apply everything you learned from 2D games and even more crap to make a 3D game. And this is where controls start to get messed up. Not to say 2D games don't have any problem with controls. Screw you, but most of the time they're on point. However, in 3D games, there's a crap ton more that goes into it. You don't want to have the controls be too tight nor too loose as well. You don't want to make the controls too stiff either. And all of these are necessary to have good control. And nowadays I think good video game controls are a lot more common than it used to be. Especially in 3D games. It took some time. Quite some time. But I think nowadays we got it down pat. And so, for the sake of it, I thought I would go through some examples of good and bad controls. Mainly because if I just talked about the controls themselves, this video wouldn't make it past the 3-minute mark. And so we're going to start with the king of all jewels. Mario 64 DS has a lot of good stuff in it as well though. Good graphic, an extra 30 stars, and that frickin' Neil. And I would easily consider it the better one if it wasn't just for this little tiny problem. The controls suck. Don't worry, it's not unplayable, but it's still not very precise. For those who don't know, you use the D-pad to move. Oh god. And for circle pad support, they wanted us to use the stylus and the touchscreen. Makes total sense. I don't know how I beat this game on my original DS. No, seriously, I do not know. But thankfully, the 3DS fixed this, having a nice little circle pad. Boom, it's all better now. Also, just going off script a bit and on a side note, touchscreen should only be used for maps, for item placement, or anything else, not a main gimmick for the game. But then there's the devil of all controls. Motion controls. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but I don't like how motion controls are used most of the time. Because most of the time, it's used like a gimmick. Not a tool, a gimmick. When the game uses it like a tool, I'm okay with it, but they're the easiest controller to mess up because of technical problems, and for me at least, they're not really fun to use at all. Now of course there are some exceptions to the motion control curse. Mario Galaxy for that nice sweet spin attack. Wii Sports because it's frickin' Wii Sports. However, Mario Kart Wii? No. Motion controls were made to simplify gaming, but in my opinion, all it did was make it more complex. As long as there's an alternate control option if the game's fully made on motion controls, then I'm okay with it. And then there's the Kinect, the thing that was supposed to be the future of gaming. I don't have too much experience with this thing, but the games I did play weren't really all that fun, and it definitely was not the future of gaming. And then there's games that purposely have bad control. The goal? To make you lose $500 when you chuck your PC out the window. And then there's Resident Evil, where half the suspense of the game is because you move like a depressed Mario. However, controllers aren't the only way to play games nowadays. You know what I'm talking about. I'll be honest with you guys, when I first tried out PC gaming, I had no idea which buttons were which since there's like 50 bajillion keys. And I gotta be honest, yeah, I'm still stuck on trying to figure out which keys are which. But I gotta admit, I can see the appeal. I'm enjoying PC gaming so far. Do I think it's perfect? Well, no, of course not. There's still the problem of bajillion keys. Dang it! The controls, however, are a bit, just a bit different from consoles. Most of the time it's WASD to move, left click to shoot, right click to look through the scope, and the scroll wheel to change weapons. I'll admit, it's not as hard as I initially thought to play these games, but these games also control pretty well. I was surprised how easy it was to learn these controls, even with the bajillion buttons. But what can you really say about keyboard and mouse controls? They're good, they're fun, they're simple. But I think that's what every game's controls should strive to be. They're good, they're fun, they're simple. I think those three things make good control. And I can already hear you, yeah, I'm not a game developer. I know this is difficult, but it still needs to be fun and good. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please have yourself a fantastic day and take care.